Finish Line sent me the Nike VAPORMAX, the newest sneaker in a long, rich line of Air Max history. And they asked me a question. What does the future of Air feel like? And I think to really answer that question, we have to take it back to the beginning. And it's funny because I feel like my life and Air Max parallel and intersect and diverge and overlap, and we're here. In 1987, Air Max was born. Tinker Hatfield brought it to life. That was way before I even knew what a Nike sneaker was. But that visible Air unit, it changed the game. And Nike had been using Air prior to that, but it was Tinker who opened the window and showed Air to the world. Looking back on it now, 30 years later, that Air bubble, that window, it's like a peek into the past. I didn't own a pair of Air Max until the late 90s, but I caught up quickly with the Air Max 1 and the Air Max 90 and the Air Max 95. And I continued until I was right there year for year, moving in sync with the Air Max line. And I didn't necessarily buy every pair, but I was right there moving in unison with them. I grew, I evolved. Air Max did too. And a huge part of sneakers for me has always been the memories attached to them. Like I said, these air bubbles were like a look at my life, an exact time, an exact moment even. And I've always loved that. The experiences, the memories, good times, bad times, fights, love, victory, defeat, laughing hysterically with my two brothers as we laid on bunk beds imitating different movie characters, or me taking my brother's Air Max 90s down to a small town in Brunswick, Georgia. It was my first year of college. I was on a basketball scholarship at Coastal Georgia. I felt a little out of place down there. They didn't walk like me or talk like me, and they said y'all a lot. I was away from home. I was homesick, but those Air Max 90s kept me close enough to get me through it. And I can remember one night going to get food, and it just started pouring rain, and I was shielding this pizza box like my life depended on it as I was just hurdling puddles. And by the time I got home, I had completely ruined the sneakers and the pizza was cold. But that time and that moment was the start of something really, really good for me. And I played professionally in Mexico a few years after that, again away from home, and again I had Air Max on my feet. And those Air Max kind of kept me close to home in a sense. And I loved Mexico. The fans there were amazing. It's a beautiful country. To this day, I've never received love the way they showed it to me there. And I can still remember my first game there, the little arena we were in. It was so loud that I couldn't even hear the ball bounce. I remember thinking that the ceiling was going to just cave in and collapse. It didn't, but I'm not sure how it didn't. And after I played my last game there, I gave my Air Max away to a kid. I'm a size 13, and he was maybe a size 9. But he put them on and laced them up on the spot. So for me, that's what Air Max has been. My brother and I shot a video a couple years ago called Dare to Air, where we went back to the block that we're from, and we talked about the past and how the sneaker symbolizes the city and our lives and just the progression of it all. And we laughed about how the studio apartment that we grew up in was about the same size as an Air Max. And now we have the VAPORMAX. And this is the first time I've ever looked at an Air Max sneaker and it doesn't feel like I'm looking into the past. It feels like a window into the future. And I've had a lot of ups and downs in my life, good times and bad times. But I'm at a point right now where I'm really, really focused and I'm really looking towards the future. I have some really big dreams and some really big goals that I've yet to reach, that I will reach. And that's what the future is. It's what we make it. The past is the past. Sure, we can reminisce on things and laugh or cry. We can feel. But what about the memories we haven't made yet? The goals we haven't reached yet? The mountains we haven't climbed yet? So what does the future of air feel like? It feels pretty damn good.